All right, today we're going to talk about the past, present, and future tenses of verbs. Now remember, the verb tense shows when something happens. When something happens. And so it can be something that has already happened in the past. It can be something that is happening right now, or it can be something that is going to happen in the future. Now remember, verbs in the past tense show that an action has already happened. And a lot of times, these verbs end in ed. Now sometimes verbs can change the spelling when ed is added, and other times irregular verbs just have an entirely different spelling altogether. Now, down at the bottom here, we have a list of words. You can cut and glue these out on your journal page, or you can just cross them off and write them on the boxes with me. We have some past tense verbs here. We have wrapped, ends in ed. Ate is one of our irregular verbs that changes the spelling altogether. We have thought, which is another irregular. It is the past tense of the word think, so it's an entirely new spelling. And we have were. If I were talking about a large group of people, I would say they were at the park yesterday. Now, when we get to the present tense, we're going to talk about verbs that show an action that is happening right now. I'm going to run out of room. Happening now. And a lot of times these end in S, ES, or sometimes ING. There's not a blank, but go ahead and fill that in. Sometimes we could say she is singing right now. A lot of times, if it's a plural verb in the present tense, it does not have any ending at all. And we have some examples from down below that we're also going to talk about for present tense. The word chases, it follows the rule that ends in ES. We have take. I take a piece of paper right now. We have make. I make a cake. Could be happening right now. I have the word fly. I have the form of be, that is. She is watching TV right now. If you went to the ice cream store, you could say, oh, look, she scoops my ice cream. Now, last but not least, we have the future tense. And things that take place in the future tense are talking about actions that will happen. They're not happening now. They haven't happened yet, but they're going to happen. The words will and shall are kind of our big giveaways there. We have three examples left over, and let's see if those match up. Well, yeah, shall be. This is what we call a verb phrase. We talked about these a couple of days ago. More than one word that makes up the role of the verb. Will shop and will sleep. All of those follow the rule we had above. Now, if you have your journal page, go ahead and cut and glue it out. And if you don't, hang on to this lesson. And when you come back to it, or when you come back to school, fill it out and glue it into your interactive.